totally dependable, plumbing and electrical. 0800 get laser.
Celebrating 25 years of Laser, I'm Kyle, the GM of Laser Group, and this is Laser Across the Network, where legacy meets leadership. Michelle, Malcolm, Michelle Harrex, Laser Electrical, Alexandra and Malcolm Bradley, Laser Electrical, Palmerston North Central, if we were being quite specific about it. Thanks for joining us in the podcast studio and to talk about performance groups and the benefit they've delivered to your businesses. And if I think about that from the perspective of Laser, both award-winning businesses across the Laser Group. And Michelle, I can hear your bangles jangling, right? And it sort of illustrates the type of person you are. So describe Michelle, describe Laser Electrical, Alexandra, and give a little bit of context to how you guys joined the group.
Describe Michelle. Michelle's not shy.
That's why you're on the couch together.
However, depending on the circumstances, I guess, I have grown up in Alexandra, moved away, lived in various different towns in New Zealand for periods of my life, and then went to Australia with Wayne, where we joined another two couples in partnership in an electrical contracting company servicing an iron ore mine in the northwest. We did that for about 5 years and then made a decision to return home. When Wayne and I started our business at Laser Electrical Alexandra, it wasn't Laser Electrical, it was an Industrial Network Services was our business name. And obviously we needed somebody to do the books and the office, which was, the one-man band type of thing. So I did that, and that's how my journey began as far as becoming a partner in the actual business.
Malcolm, what's different about your journey in Laser then?
I'm just a local Palmy lad, born and bred in Palmy, and basically we went into business because we were working for someone and it just didn't work, so we left and started up on our own, which was very, very hard with two young kids and Nicola working, so I'd do 8-9 hour days and then would be in the office with Nicola till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night some days, and that was very stressful on the life at home and whatnot. And then we'd take on an apprentice, and I must point out that the first apprentice that I took on 19 years ago is still with me. And then 2 years later, we took on the second apprentice and he's still with us as well. So it must be something we've been doing right. And then Laser came and knocked on the door and we hummed and hawed and we joined up and we've gone from there. So,
Michelle, for you first, what's made yourself look to join and want to join a performance group?
When I think about that question, I cast my mind back to why we joined Laser for a start off and the benefits of this group networking. Like, it's just an awesome family, right? So to do a performance group or join a performance group gives us an opportunity to meet other Laser members that might not be in our very local area and be able to share ideas, learnings, and grow our business that, in a safe space that you can ask questions, because it's quite intimidating, I think, that when you are in a business, you don't feel like you've always got the right to ask some sensitive questions. Whereas when you're in a performance group, that first one in particular, we just open up and start yapping, and before you know it, we're talking about how we do this or how somebody does that, and you get ideas, and it's been an awesome ride. It really has. I would highly recommend it.
Malcolm, what about for you? Was it a similar sort of a decision for you guys?
the biggest thing for us is we came into Laser, we were probably quite shy. We didn't mingle that well with people. So there was obviously this great mass of people that we first met and thought, wow, this is overwhelming, it's probably the term I'd use, and I'm sure Nicola would back me up with that. But when the performance group came, we basically took it as an opportunity to get closer to 3 or 4 other members and get to know them on a personal level and a professional level and see how their businesses run. And that has sort of opened us up to mingle more with other people. So to me, that was probably one of the main reasons we decided to use it. Then that opened up all those other avenues as well as how you run your business and made us more accountable with other people looking at it, how we were doing it. And it was one of the greatest things we ever did.
Introducing yourself as a little bit shy, in your own words, and that maybe a smaller group of 3 or 4 people is a lot more comfortable, and sometimes where we might see members in a conference environment, for example, where there's 100 people, 200 people, 100 members, 300 people in a room, and you go, isn't this awesome? But it's not for everyone as well. Coming back to performance groups, and you almost touched on it before in terms of you might commit to something, you catch up again with your group 3 months later and they go, hey, Malcolm, why haven't you done this? How has that helped you guys in terms of whether it is your employment proposition, whether it is the growth across your business? What are you doing there?
Definitely makes you more accountable. Like, we'll sit there and you'll jot down always one personal thing, what you're going to try and do in your own time, which to me is the cycling one. And then there's the work ones. We try and do our performance reviews on the staff, which we always lack, and that's one we always put down. You say we're setting goals. It might be to employ another tradesman, another apprentice, and it sort of drives you to do it. You think, I need to do it, but I'll get round to doing it. But because you've got these other guys that are going to harass you when you get there, did you do this one? Oh, no. Did you do this one? No. Sort of makes it stick in your mind that these are the things I need to be doing. And the reason you've written them down there is because it's going to make your business better.
And when you say make your business better, are they things that you can identify by yourself, or is it actually that the accountability is there and you should be doing it, and by writing it down it really comes true?
It is about having that accountability. It's almost like you're in a team. When you're in a performance group, we become a team and we don't want to let each other down. And so when you turn up, and you don't want to be the one that sits there and goes, oh, no, I did nothing. I just got too busy. Because I just got too busy is a pretty lame excuse.
So how do other people from your business participate in performance groups, and what's the benefit from working as a couple?
Benefits of being a couple, I guess, is that we definitely share the same goals and are driven for the same outcome. Our business means as much to ourselves as it does to each other. So I think that's a different factor when you are in a partnership. We just did a thing in our performance group around having clear roles and responsibilities, and I feel like that is something that is on our to-do list.
It's actually a theme that we've heard across a couple of different podcasts as well, in terms of 2 directors in the business, 50-50 shareholders, but one of them is the general manager, and that is their role. Just for you, Malcolm, how are you guys working together to deliver the results and be accountable in a performance group?
Well, I think that's probably one of our great successes. I'm good at the work side. I know all about that, and I know nothing about the office. So without Nicola in that office, then we'd fall over pretty damn quick, just quietly. And the joys of having Nicola, it's someone I trust, so I don't have to look at all the invoices. I don't have to look at where the money's coming in to see whether it's come in. I just assume that it has, unless there's an issue that Nicola will say, hey, this person hasn't paid or whatever. That just ticks along in the back.
And that's really interesting, because a big part of the performance groups is around that financial performance, right? And it might be that we're certainly not comparing how we price things, but we're looking at the outcomes of some of those decisions, how much we pay our people, what we invoice materials for, sometimes what we're buying them for. So how have you got away for such a long period of time without knowing that stuff and still growing quite a successful business?
See, I know what we pay for them, but this is just more of the, like, I'll look at the profit and loss on all the jobs and all that things, but once I've got the invoice ready to send, I'm not part of the business that follows it up to see whether the client's happy with it. I just assume they get paid and we go from there. So
Wayne's exactly the same, like ever since we had that terrible outstanding money and I had to literally, Wayne, sit down, you need to look at this. From there, that was when once a month I'm going to make sure that you come to my desk and I show you the zero summary report so that you can see and feel happy and knowing that we're good, or actually we need to take heed here.
But what you're talking about is almost a form of management reporting, right? Which is, in my opinion, quite important, just to take a sense of going, oh shit, this month was big.
Yeah.
What contributed to that?
Yeah.
And are we trending the right way, and those sorts of things? But there's sometimes where a performance group actually forces you to do those
things. 100%.
Now, whether that's through benchmarking, whether that's through a member in your performance group going, hey, this is something I measure, and you go, shit, why do you measure that? This is why.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's quite insightful. You might have 5 or 6 metrics that you measure, and 4 or 5 might be awesome to your own words, but 5 and 6 are a clear work on, because if you're behind the group or you're behind that benchmark, then you need the help of the group to be able to lift that, and I think that's one of those real benefits as well. Then for that level of detail and the partnership that you guys have, you're an award-winning business, so is that partnership a big part of that, in your opinion? And then what did those awards mean to you guys?
Yeah, it was definitely a big part of the partnership. That's the whole success, I think. Like, without Nicola, I definitely wouldn't be where I am with 100%. So she's the rock in our business. But to win those awards, that was just exceptional. It was just the icing on the cake, pretty much. Now we've just got to keep keep it up there, keep maintaining it.
I'll never forget being at that awards night and watching the businesses go up on stage. I was just like, oh my God, I want our business to be that good that we get to go up there. And whether that's just about me wanting to be on stage, I'm not sure, but I don't think it is. It's not completely about that. But I remember thinking, how amazing is this group? You get awards if you do well. You get recognised nationally, and for us it would have been internationally because it would have been Australia and New Zealand.
Awards are special, but for me they're not the objective necessarily. The objective is providing the criteria for which to achieve those awards and recognising the growth of a business. And what we were talking about last night over a wine is that rising tide, because if you might win an award this year, and then when I jokingly said to you, I don't want you winning this year, and it was meant to be a joke. And you gave me a serve, and I said, actually, it's about making sure that everyone else recognises what you're doing and how to help others achieve to the level that you are. Coming back to performance groups and maybe how that's driven your growth, we've probably got 2/3 of our businesses, IBLs, participating in performance groups, but that might only be half of our business owners, for example. So there is still room for growth and runway for people to participate in. Someone who's on the fence or gone, I'm too busy, I don't have the time, I don't see the value, what do you say to those people?
You definitely need to do it. It's just getting closer to other members, seeing different ideas. And those that say they're too busy, it forces you out of the office for a day. You're still in the business because you're still thinking about how you can better your business, but you're not in your office, and sometimes that's just the break you need.
It starts at lunchtime and then finishes at lunchtime next day with something overnight. You know, being too busy is just an excuse, but it's structured to enable people to get to them, right? So how's that helped you guys?
It has helped in the fact that, especially that lunchtime start and that lunchtime finish, if we're flying somewhere, we come from Alexandra, we've got an hour's drive just to the airport. It reduces that time away because we can go in the morning, which is great. I think if you had to sit, if it was just a one day, you would miss things, because even though you'd have a break for lunch, you wouldn't get the time to process what you've just discussed or talked about or learnt in time to be able to come back and maybe have a bit more suggestion towards our awesome ideas.
You mentioned business there, and over a beer or over dinner or a glass of wine, you might talk about little Johnny who's giving you grief, and you might go, well, that's not particularly the part of the marketing or the governance or the sales or what have you from the module, but they're often shared problems which you can solve over a beer, right? Just in wrapping performance groups, they're modulated, right? And so whether it is that sales, whether it is that business planning, whether it is that you guys had a chance to get through Google the other day, you might argue an independent business doesn't have that same opportunity. So how does the laser structure and facilitation of a performance group help across all of those modules and those discussions?
I guess it's always good to have somebody at the helm, isn't it? That's actually...
That leads us,
Yeah, because otherwise I think we would do stuff, but we probably wouldn't do it to the same extent. We probably wouldn't think outside the square.
With the Google thing, we never could have got in there on our own, and that was certainly worthwhile going to see them as well. So yeah, that's the joy with it. Over 2 days, we can do the classroom work the first day and have the field trip the second day.
Field trip.
You know, we're seeing greater involvement from you guys across the group, and I'm talking specifically now for the NLAT, or the National Laser Advisory Team. Michelle, you're the chairperson of that now. What is the NLAT, and why does it benefit your businesses, and why does it benefit being part of that NLAT?
To me, the NLAT is the glue that brings sport office members together, sharing ideas and making new pathways for us all to grow and improve in our businesses. We need to be able to work together for the same objectives and goals, and if I can be a part of that to help members that maybe don't want to have to be the one to come forward, then I'm pretty keen to be involved in that.
And Malcolm, you say we've got an opportunity to deliver something we haven't done before, and we're talking specifically around some marketing initiatives here. Was that what you sort of expected from an NLAT, and do you see the opportunities to improve the network as a result?
I can definitely see the opportunities to improve it. Like, I sort of joined it because I felt like I'm in a position that I can give something back. I've taken all this out of laser to get to where I've got to, and now I think I can then go into this team and I can offer something back to help other lasers get to where we've got to. It was exciting with this marketing. You said, this is what we're thinking of doing, and we're in a position that we can deliver it. We can talk to our members to see this is what they want to do, give them feedback, and if we can get this across the line and hopefully other incentives like this, it's win-win for everyone.
So from today, I just want to say thanks for the way that you guys have contributed to sharing this knowledge and supporting laser more generally. It's been bloody good. And well done too for the success you've enjoyed over the last number of years.
Thank you, yeah.
Thanks for having us. It's been great, hasn't it?
Very good, yeah.
If you've enjoyed the episode, subscribe, like and follow where you get all your podcasts. Give us a review and find us at lasergroup.co.nz. And here's to another 25 years.
0800 get laser.